We start our river cruises in France and arrived by train at the station in Avignon. In the narrow alleys of the old town we find a small hotel. From there we set out to find the ship. At the port of Avignon we have discovered it then. First we look at it from a distance. And then from the inside. On the supership Catherine we will experience a wonderful week. We still have the opportunity to stroll through the narrow streets of Avignon before the ship departs. Well, after a magnificent day, we spent our first night on the supership Catherine. The next day we reach Tarascon. With a short walk we will find the castle of Tarascon, which was built in the 15th century. We set sail and leave Tarascon behind us. During the cruise we can explore the ship. We dock once again in Avignon. Strolling through the narrow alley, we come to the landmark of the city. The Bridge of Avignon and the Palace of the Pope are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. We make another excursion by kayak to Pont du Gard. This viaduct is an old channel for the water supplies from the Roman times and is 2000 years old. Back on the ship we go upstream. We pass several locks. Locking can take up to half an hour. Today we dock in Viviers. Viviers is a medieval town on the right bank of the Rhône River. The historic town center is an important cultural monument of the region and has been bishop's seat since the 5th century. The stay is short and we cruise further upstream. The restaurant is still closed for the preparation for the guests. In the stateroom we think about what we will have for dinner. We continue in the direction of the Tour L'Ermitage. There's about 50 miles south of Lyon. The small town lives essentially from the wine production and increasingly from the tourism. So, we set off and explore the area. The river, the Rhône, is spanned by the suspension bridge Passerelle Marc Seguin. Marc Seguin, born in 1786, went down in technical history as a designer of suspension bridges and steam locomotives. We have arrived at the vineyards and they invite us for a long walk. By the way, the delicious wine from the respective region is also available on board. We cruise late into the night and dock in Lyon. The next morning we catch sight of the third largest city in France next to Paris and Marseille, Lyon. Visible from afar, the Basilica of Notre-Dame de Fourvière towers over Lyon on the summit of the mountain Fourvière. The old town of Lyon and part of the Lyon Peninsula were declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1998. Lyon gastronomy enjoyed worldwide reputation. The Lyon cuisine is a simple but a fine cuisine, and it sources its product from the region, such as trout from a clear river from the Alps, or pike, eel and carp from many lakes.
Pardon, je ne comprends pas, je ne parle pas le français.
In more than 4,000 restaurants in Lyon, you will find certainly something for every taste. In the evening we come back to the ship after a nice walk in the city. We enjoyed the evening on the ship, and the next morning we continue on to a day trip to Mâcon. Mâcon is a small city with about 34,000 inhabitants and is located 37 miles north of Lyon. The stone bridge Pont Saint-Laurent dates from the 11th century and served as a defense by a special technique. The pedestrian zone with many small stores offers the opportunity to go shopping. And then, after a short stay, we cruise back to Lyon. This is our last night in Lyon, but we still had a captain's dinner on the ship. On the last morning in Lyon, we make our way to the train station. It is time to say goodbye after a wonderful week.